I realized I spent most of my life thinking I needed to become less rebellious and follow what others were doing. I was built too much in my own way. I needed to adapt more. And this wasn't forced by my parents or my family. I think I just internalized what society says a smart person chooses. The certain degree at university that guarantees, quote unquote, a safe job, build the stable career, enter and spend years in corporate, the safe, logical choice. And every time it came a point where I went, heck no, where I cracked, something inside of me cracked, where that inner rebel that I tried so hard to control and keep under control for the majority of my life started to raise her hand like we don't want to do that. And at first I thought she was kind of trying to sabotage my success because I was like, hey, everyone is doing this way. They say this is how you get success, fulfillment, everything. So this is how we should do it. So I thought that was sabotage, but actually that part of me, that voice that got louder and louder and louder was just trying to signal to me I was building the wrong life, the wrong way, a way that eventually you might feel if you notice there's resistance, if you notice there's unfulfillment, you might think, hey, I am resisting the thing I'm building, I'm resisting the life I'm living. But sometimes it's that you're just a part of you is just rebelling against the way you're doing it, against how you're pushing through, against how you're forcing yourself to follow rules that were never made for you, were never built for you. They just sold you. You just enrolled without even realizing you chose it, without even realized, I guess we're doing this way. And thank God, every time there was a crack, every time there was a moment that for me, it became super clear I can't go on anymore. After 10 years, 10 years in corporate, I just cracked. I was like, I don't want to have someone decide how many days I can go on a vacation. I don't want to negotiate my time, my holiday time, my free time, when I want to work from home, when I can't stay sick for longer. I can allow my body to recover a couple days more, even if I don't have a high fever and I want to go into work. I just wanted to, first of all, have that taste and give myself experience in life and lead a life with that kind of freedom. That was my main goal at first. That was my main driver, and freedom is my number one value. So, of course, it drives most of my decisions. And that's when the life I was leading, the work I was doing, started to really contrast, really conflict with the way I am, with who I am, with how I'm built, that it came a point that I can't force myself, I can't squeeze myself into doing this every day without ending up hating every aspect of this. And I don't want to get there. And of course, I don't think I would have chosen the timing through which everything happened because COVID came and I was laid off earlier than I planned to quit. But I'm grateful for it because eventually that was the push I needed to, hey, before this gets too comfortable, because of course it was comfortable on the financial side of it, on the status, I guess. I never really cared about that. I was caring more about the financial freedom, but the time freedom was missing. So the moment everything happened faster than I would have planned, but I embraced it anyway. And I took the leap and I started building my own thing. So I was like, all right, we made it. Guess what? I entered and repeated the same pattern. The moment I started building my own thing and entered the field of first through yoga, then Reiki training, then coaching and embodiment, basically supporting other women to different capacities. I forgot holistic and health coaching as well at first. I started repeating the same pattern because first, this time, there was also the urgency of, hey, I already missed 10 years of my life doing a work that wasn't my soul work. So now I need to catch up. I need to go faster. So, you guys, what's the way to do it? How do I speed up the process? How do I like the wrong mindset to enter anything? Because you're just gonna put so much urgency and pressure on yourself that you end up making misaligned decisions and doing the thing in a way you're gonna resent it and resist it, and even your body and nervous system will fight against it at some point. And that's what happened to me because I started following with the knowing, the assumption that I needed to catch up that was behind. I started following almost blindly advice from coaches and mentors and teachers that were further along the way that I admire, that I respect, that inspire me. But still, that's not enough reason for me to follow what they're doing, not enough reason to adopt their formula. Also, because I'm not built to follow proven formulas. I'll give you an example. In my early life, teenagers through mid 20s, I always thought of myself as someone very inconsistent and lazy with sports, physical exercise, physical routine, because I would start something and never stay consistent with it and just pick up something new. And again, same cycle again and again and again. I was like, I guess I'm not a sporty person. I guess I'm lazy. I guess I can't do it like other people do it. And I was kind of okay with that until I found first yoga and then bar, which my body automatically responded to. I didn't need to force consistency. I didn't need to, of course, there are days where it's not that easy, but I can feel how I feel in my body. And that's my yes. That's my compass. And I've learned to trust and follow that more and more, not just when it comes to physical exercise, but in every area. Because even this is what I've realized. And if you're a rebel and you resonate with this might land for you too and give you perhaps a haha moment like it happened to me, like it did for me. Every time something starts to feel prescriptive, I'm out. Starts to feel dogmatic, I'm like, nope, I'm not doing that. Every time someone says, this is how you do it, nope, I will find another way. And I was always this way, but early in my life, I kind of contorted myself to fit into the way, the formula, the one path, the one answer, the thing people told you. This is how you do it. And that's why it was so frustrating and I felt so different and I felt so out of place because simply I am not built that way. And today I fully embrace the inner rebel because she knows me best. So if she's raising her hand, I listen. I'm like, speak up, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me, because she's signaling the truth. She's signaling when she needs to let herself be heard, something is out of alignment, something is off. So I've learned to let her speak and to listen. And this also happened. And sometimes, it takes a while of you redoing and repeating the pattern again and again to catch it. And if after a few times, you're like, all right, I can see there's a pattern here. Let's see what's happening. And then you can change it. So what happened is that when I entered, my first entry point into working for myself was first yoga and then Reiki. I went through my Reiki training, became a Reiki master, and I loved it. It's still part of my work. It's not front and center. Even if you go through my offerings right now, there is a personalized roadmap. It's one-on-one work. And I think you don't see anywhere it says there is Reiki, a Reiki session inside of it until like the very logistical part. Because I'm probably the most unconventional Reiki master, Reiki practitioner, energy worker you will ever meet. At first, I loved it, but the moment I started to feel it was too prescriptive, meaning this is the crystal you use, this is how you sage every room, this is how you protect your energy. Don't do X or you will get plenty of negative energy, quote unquote. Don't do this because now you're an open channel and it's easier for you to pick up on debris, energetic debris, whatever that is. The moment it starts to feel constraining, contracting, rigid, dogmatic to me, that inner rebel is just she starts to talk to me. Sometimes she's like, heck no. And I remember at first I was very excited. I was blown away. I still am. I love Reiki. I think it's an amazing modality. But early in my early stages, early 20s, I was kind of addicted to seeking energy readings, energy sessions, and just feedback, advice from mentors, people that were further along the spiritual path than me, because I was looking for the one answer, the one way to do things. What is the answer? What is the one way? So I was constantly chasing and looking and seeking advice. And that was the kind of an attached mode to operate from, also a scarcity mode, because there was no recognition of all the wisdom is in here. And even not much trust in what I know. And I think after a while, and it took, of course, some self work, some inner work, some maturing as well, naturally, that I started to reject, not reject, but not seek anymore. I'm not interested anymore in abstract advice, more journaling prompts, more philosophical questions. I already have plenty of those in my head. I can easily go into deep thinking, creative thinking, just self-inquiry mode. I realize that that is my easy way. I can go there. What I needed was grounding. What I needed was rootedness. What I needed was centering in my own knowledge, in my own body, in my own wisdom, the intelligence I carry. That's why, for me, what really put all the pieces together, the pieces of my puzzle together, and helped me, like, give me a tool, a key to navigate life my own way, was embodiment. Really reconnecting with my body, because at first I was pretty much outsourcing most of my choices, answers, wisdom out there to mentors, to greater wisdom, higher intelligent beings, my Reiki guides, like outsourcing constantly. And very little was coming from here. Very little was I trusting my own knowledge. And I'm so thankful to embodiment work and everything that it just brought it home for me. It really connected all the dots. It really connected all the pieces. It really brought me home to myself. And from this place, now I can go like whenever, even, with business advice and platform specific advice, even when I see like my algorithm on YouTube suggesting me this is how you increase your views, this is how you package your videos for more reach, things like that. Like my body has like a visceral no reaction to it because I'm done. I don't care. I'm done following other people's proven formulas. This is my era where I need to get it wrong if I need to my own way, where I need to do things my own way and allowing, giving myself grace to get it wrong. I don't care because I know that's how I'm going to learn even more what's right for me, what feels right to my body. That's why I say I'm the most unconventional Reiki practitioner. I'm not non-conventional coach because there are many rebellious and coaches out there that operate from this perspective. But in terms of energy work and spirituality, I'm very much about what does your body tell you? I'm like an embodied Reiki master, an embodiment. I don't know, but my work, it's very much rooted into make how is this going to look like whatever comes up during a Reiki reading and energy reading. I'm all about, okay, but how is this going to look like both when I receive it and when I offer it and give it and work with clients? How is this going to look like in your day to day? How is this going to land in your body? What is your nervous system saying? I'm not, it's very different how I am channeling that wisdom, I'm offering and packaging that wisdom because eventually it's about how it lands in your body. That's all I'm interested about for myself and for people I get to empower, I get to support, and I get to work with. And I love that for us. I love that perspective shift. Yeah. I'm thinking if I have any other example, but the most like the thing that really landed for me was that how I notice right now, and it kind of makes me giggle every time I see someone saying, hey, this is how you grow on Instagram, this is how you grow on here, this is how you make more money, this is how you scale your business, this is how you create predictable income. There's still a part of me that wants to know because I do have that curiosity. I'm a forever student. And I do, of course, I keep learning. Of course, I keep growing my knowledge, but I'm not attached to it anymore. I'm not following it anymore. And I also let my body guide my decisions. If I feel that visceral reaction of like, hell no, heck no, this no, I'm like, I giggle. I'm like, all right, we're not going to do that. We're not going to follow that. And I think there is a combination of knowing that that part you thought you needed to get under control is probably the part that knows you best, that you probably should listen to the most. It probably knows what's right, what feels right for you, and the right way to get where you want to get. And when I say right, I don't mean in a black and white sense, like this is wrong, this is right, because I embrace the wrong too, because you need to get it wrong to get it right. But right in the sense, this is how it's going to be sustainable for us. This is how it's going to feel good. This is my way. This is your, like, it fit me. I don't need to fit into the formula. I create the way of doing it that fits and adapts and evolves and stretches and grows as I do with me. I think that's the most sustainable way. Just, you guys, we're not even talking about business. And if you're a solo business owner or content creator, you have a online business, but for life, like a strategy for life. If you have had a hunch, an inner rebel raising her hand inside. Maybe this is a video that reminds you to listen, to start listening, to give her more credit because she knows. She might be knowing things you're ignoring. And maybe she's not self-sabotaging you or your success or your fulfillment or the life you want. She's just signaling you're building it in a way that's not fully aligned and it's not fully liberating your full potential. I hope this landed. And if you don't know, my name is Marina. I make videos on here every day to remind you that the life you desire, the life you want, the life that is calling you, the thing you want to build, the next leap, the next chapter fulfillment, of more freedom, of more option, more joy, whatever you desire is just one leap of courage away. And sometimes that leap looks like trusting yourself more and trusting that inner rebel, trusting that voice that perhaps you silenced for too many years. And now it's time to give her the mic, let her speak, let her take the lead and see where it takes you. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.